So, what's good, YouTube? This is Very Mellow Man, and welcome to another Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 raid. So, this time, we're going to be using my Majin, my female Majin here, in order to do the Humanity's Greatest Threat raid. This is where I currently sit, 67,180 points. Why a female Majin? Well, up to this point, I've been doing raids in which key builds were the best way to rack up points against the raid bosses due to the mechanics of the raid boss itself. But this time, we're fighting Hercule. So, believe it or not, the best way to get bonus points on Hercule is to use a build that focuses on strike attacks. Now, for obvious reasons, when we actually get to the raid boss proper, you will not see many people using the same strategy. Especially if you're watching people play on the Switch. People who are playing on the Switch are really only going to be using key builds. Because key builds have been the best for raids so far. And to be honest, the detail that you need to use strike builds to deal the most damage and get the most points to this raid boss is not something you're going to know instinctively. I had to look up a forum that was discussing this current Hercule raid in order to figure out what the best strategy was. And yeah, it turns out strike builds are what you need here. Humanity's greatest threat turns out to be humanity's greatest threat. Now then, the strategy here is to stack up all three levels of formation, and then make it permanent with excellent full course. Just hit the move on Hercule, and the buff you get from formation will stay. Yeah, that's always a risk with this type of thing. Because you have to get up close and personal, that makes you very vulnerable to everything Hercule can do. But as you can see, even when I'm defeated, I still have the buff from formation on my character. That's why people like Excellent Full Course. It makes your buffs like that permanent. I also have a 30% buff to my strike skill damage thanks to Champa's Super Soul. Oh, okay. Savory Slicer is Android 21's unique strike skill, and the benefit from it is that Hercule's super armor will keep him from fleeing every time you use a skill on someone. Death Crasher, when fully charged, will net you a lot of points as well. All I have to do is hit Hercule. Gotta use got to get out of there and get your stamina back whenever Hercule does Peeler Storm. Problem is, though, I'm vulnerable to any more uses of Peeler Storm. Honestly, in cases like this, I feel like it's better to have. And the fight's almost over, so... Well, that's all I got. But yeah, as you can see, everyone else is just using key spam builds, while I was actually hitting Hercule's weakness. And first place, look at that. My contribution and my attack rating are just... It speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. You could combine the scores of everyone else in that raid, and I would still have basically come out on top. So, let's see. So for this raid, the prizes are as follows. If you get 1,500 points of damage, you get the Wrestler's Wig. If you get 30,000 points of damage, you get the bottom half of the Sumo costume. And if you get 50,000 points of damage, you get 2 Hercule's Wigs and the Hercule Super Soul. So what the Hercule Super Soul will do is that it will allow you to... Every time you or one of your teammates defeats an enemy in a parallel quest or a versus or an online versus match, you and everyone else on your team will get a small damage boost, and that damage boost will stack up to 10 times. Now, a small damage boost in this game is 5% extra damage. So, stacking 10 times means that everyone will eventually get a 50% damage boost. That makes the Hercule Super Soul incredible for parallel quests, especially the DLC parallel quests, which often involve you fighting multiple extremely powerful enemies at a time. And the best part is the damage boost doesn't go away. It just depends on you having killed enemies during a fight. So, I'm gonna get that soul, and it's gonna be fun to use it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time we get another Xenoverse 2 raid. This has been Very Mellow Man. This has been Majin Prue. Signing off.